How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. We are back for another week and I hope every single one of you have had a really good weekend. Now, on today's show, we're going to be talking about Bournemouth because Eddie Howe has left by mutual consent. We're going to be talking about Arsenal and the FA Cup final and what happened in that game over the weekend. And the last piece of news, sticking with Arsenal because it looks like Matteo Guendouzi has finally played his last game for the club.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So the first place we're going to start is the news that broke over the course of the weekend. Late Saturday evening it was, and that is that Eddie Howe has left Bournemouth by mutual consent. Now, of course, Bournemouth, they have been relegated from the Premier League. And Eddie Howe has decided to step down from his role as manager. And I'll tell you something, it's not that much of a surprise in many respects. But at the same time, given what he's done for Bournemouth, it is a bit of a surprise that maybe he hasn't stayed for a year to see if he can get them back into the Premier League. But Eddie Howe has left his job as Bournemouth manager by mutual consent. After the Cherries' relegation to the Championship, Howe said ending his 25-year association with the club was one of the hardest decisions he has ever had to make. Although the affection and love that I have for this football club will always remain, we collectively feel that now is the right time for the club to go in a new direction. And that is what he said in an open letter to the club supporters. Bournemouth will always be in my heart, but I firmly believe now that this is the right time for the club to have a change. I have always ensured that every decision I have ever made as manager has been in the best interest of the club and its supporters, and this is no different. The 42-year-old was responsible for managing Bournemouth from League 2 right all the way through to the Premier League for the first time in its club's history in 2015. He left the club to join Burnley after taking the Cherries into League 1 in 2010, but returned to the South Coast club to lead them into the Championship in 2013 and the top flight 2 years later, where they have firmly established themselves until this season. Listen, like I said, he's been at Bournemouth such a long time, even before the managerial side of things. 25 years he's been associated, with Bournemouth, and what he's done there. They were right down at the bottom of League 2, close to going out of league football. And what he has achieved, unbelievable. But he feels that this is it now, that the club need a fresh approach with fresh ideas and a fresh face and new ideas. And, it's difficult, but you get what he's saying. And he probably needs to change as well. He needs a change of scenery, and he's a quality manager. A club out there is going to do very, very well by appointing Eddie Howe. I'm not sure about a Premier League side at the moment when you look who's, there and available. But definitely a team in the Championship. All day long, a team in the Championship could do no worse than Eddie Howe. And a team that would back him, he's got the experience to get that team into the Premier League. And he's got the experience of the Premier League now under his belt. It's been so unfortunate with Bournemouth this season as well, with injuries and certain things that have gone against him. But he's a quality manager, young manager as well, 42 years old. That's so young in today's managerial, circle. He plays a great style of football. He has an identity and a brand. And like I said, it'd be very interesting to see where he goes. And it won't be long before, Eddie Howe gets a job, in my opinion. And it'd be very interesting to see, what he does. And Bournemouth, be interesting to see what they do. Because, of course, they might go with the assistant manager. They've already said that there wouldn't be, any objections to that. He can apply for the job just like everyone else. But it's a big one for them. They've got to get the appointment right because, they're going to want to get straight back into the Premier League because that's the promised land. But interesting all round, and we'll see what Bournemouth do and we'll see what Eddie Howe does as well. So Next piece of news involves Arsenal FA Cup final weekend, and what a performance from Arsenal. 2-1 winners against Chelsea. They have won the FA Cup. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with both the goals, just as he did in the semi-final against Manchester City. And people asked, does this guy turn up in big games? Are you mad? Wasn't the greatest of starts for Arsenal. Opening 10-15 minutes looked really slow out of the traps. Chelsea took the lead through Pulisic, the danger man, the one that I was specifically speaking about along with Olivier Giroud. And then after that, Arsenal completely dominated the game. They genuinely just dominated Chelsea. Some Chelsea fans will talk about the referee and use that as an excuse, but let's be real here. Anthony Taylor didn't actually have a bad game. There was the incident involving Emi Martinez. We've now cleared that up. It was a perfectly timed catch on the edge of the area. Nothing wrong with it at all. The one decision, he got wrong was probably Kovacic, being sent off for that foul because it wasn't a foul. Or it didn't warrant a yellow card, shall we say. But it was accumulation of fouls by Kovacic that led the referee to that decision. He should have probably got booked earlier than that. And it's swings and roundabouts. Look at Jorginho at the Emirates earlier in the season. Should have got a second yellow card and been sent off. Nothing. Let's go right back to the first half. Azpilicueta, when he gave away the penalty. This exact same referee sent off David Luiz for the exact same incident against Manchester City only a few weeks back. You remember when David Luiz put his arms all over Riyad Mahrez and brought him down in the box? Red card. No different whatsoever to the incident with Azpilicueta and Aubameyang. So unless he was told after that incident that you got it wrong and it should have been a yellow, which is why he gave a yellow for this one, or there's just inconsistency. So if anything, Chelsea, you had one go against you. We had one go against us because we go and make it 1-1. Azpilicueta sent off. We play against 10 men for over, 60 odd minutes of the game? We win the final comfortably, in my opinion. If we're playing you for over 60 minutes against 10 men, we'll win that game by about 3-4-1. That's my opinion, simple as that. But apart from it, no. Decent enough game. Chelsea just moaning because they lost the final. It's like, but he gave all the little fouls and it's... shut up. Stop whinging. Stop whining. All right? Mikel Arteta, 28 games he's been manager of Arsenal and he's already won a trophy. Frank Lampard, full season, no trophy. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, a year and a bit at Manchester United, still no trophy. But they do still have a chance this season because they are in the Europa League and they are one of the favourites. So if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can do that, then fair play to him because he will be there with the likes of Mikel Arteta as one of the new managers winning a trophy. And it's a part of, building. That's what it's all about. If Manchester United do get knocked out of the Europa, then you can start to ask questions about the season. Yes, you will say they've got into the Champions League, just like Chelsea. But is it good enough for the clubs of that size, like Manchester United? No, it's not. So he will have to progress and then ultimately start winning. And the one thing that I will say about Manchester United, and the most ironic thing, is that since Sir Alex Ferguson left in the last 7 years, Arsenal have won 4 trophies. Manchester United have won 3. We're not including the Community Shields because if we were to do that, then we would have 8 trophies, I think it is, or something along them lines, or 7, or I can't even remember. It's that many. But either way, with or without the Community Shield, we would have won more trophies than Manchester United. I say with Howe because it's not one of the main 4 trophies that you go for in a season. So yeah, we've won more. We finished above Manchester United in the league 5 out of 7 seasons, but yet we're the banter club. Cool story. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But listen, Arsenal, absolutely immaculate, brilliant final. Mikel Arteta, masterclass. And yeah, unlucky Chelsea. Takes me on to the last piece of news, and that involves Matteo Guendouzi, and I think he may well have played his last game for Arsenal. And you know what? Good riddance. Bye-bye. Shut the door on the way out, you petulant little brat. Of course, going into the final and everything else, we knew that Guendouzi was not going to be involved, wouldn't be playing or anything else, but he's still an Arsenal player. Now, former Arsenal players, Cesc Fabregas congratulates Arsenal on winning the trophy. You know, he didn't leave in the best of terms. You know, hasn't got a great relationship with some of the fan base at Arsenal because of his time at Chelsea. But still congratulates Arsenal. Robin van Persie, another player that, you know, is not loved by Arsenal fans, still congratulates the club. Lauren Koscielny, former captain, congratulates the club. Mesut Ozil congratulates the club. You know, clearly not in Mikel Arteta's plan, clearly problems there, but still congratulates the club. He's an employee of Arsenal, he plays for Arsenal, and he still congratulates them. He's not even there at Wembley. You know, completely omitted, the same as Guendouzi. The only thing Guendouzi's posted is of a beach saying he's on holiday. That's it. So it kind of shows what kind of attitude that Guendouzi has. And he's a petulant little brat. And I can see why Mikel Arteta doesn't want him involved and why he's out of the squad. And good riddance. Bye-bye. And like I said, shut the door on the way out. You know? Can't say no more than that. Look what we can do without you. Please. Guendouzis are a dime a dozen. There's loads of you out there. We can replace you. No problem whatsoever. So, bye-bye. And good luck to whoever you sign for, because they'll need it with your attitude. And the thing is, I hope one day you do actually grow up. Because when you do, you might then be able to fulfill the potential you do have. If not, it's just going to be a never-ending cycle. I can't say no more. So there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As you can tell by my voice and everything else, I'm still happy. Can't say no more. I'm going to be unbearable until we start playing again in about 4 weeks' time. But listen, there's going to be a season review coming out this week. Also a player review, their marks out of 10 for the whole season. That's going to be interesting because, you know, winning a trophy doesn't mean that you automatically get 8s and 9s and stuff like that. You've got to be objective and look at the season as a whole, because that's what it is, a season review. So watch out for that, because it's going to be an interesting one. And yeah, loads more before, what we got, 26 days until we play again. Liverpool in the Community Shield at Wembley. Very, very interesting. Then the Premier League will start in under 6 weeks' time. I can't wait already. Just get me going. This is the thing about winning a trophy. You just want to keep going. You know, you lose the final and you just want to just forget about football for a while. But right now, I don't want to forget about it. I just want to carry on. And of course, there's going to be videos if we sign players, if players extend contracts, maybe, hopefully. And yeah, if players leave. So if you're new around there, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. And I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.